Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to jump on here to answer a couple of questions that were asked in my Facebook group. It's called Impactful and Profitable Therapists. So it's a group that is meant for therapists and private practice owners, where I provide accounting resources and accounting, tax and accounting related answers to all your questions. So one of the first questions that's not necessarily about accounting, but I did want to address, it's from Annette. So she asked, do you offer business advice and accounting services? So the quick answer is yes, we do offer accounting services. I consider our accounting firm an advisory firm more so than a tax more so than a firm that just does taxes or just does bookkeeping. We are an advisory firm. So what that means is that we provide you not only with your financials, but we will also give you some business advice that relates to your financials. And if you're a business owner, if you're not a business owner, you probably already know that pretty much every decision that you make for your business is going to have some type of financial impact to your business. So in a way, yes, we, even though we don't advertise as business advisory services, we definitely offer those advisory services and help our clients make sure that they are fully understanding what's going on with their financials and help them make better decisions for their business, such as, if they're trying to hire somebody, or if they're going to add equipment, or they're going to add a new office or anything like that. We're helping them make the decisions that are going to help them get there even faster and meet their goals even faster. So the next question, let's see. This comes from Carrie Ann. I hope I'm saying that right. It says, and in my Facebook post, I asked what you would like to see in this group. So this is, she says, advice for providers at the start of process to open practice. So that's a really great one. And to be honest, I started this Facebook group to really answer a lot of those type of questions, like the startup type of questions. So I mainly focus in on setting up private practices to make sure that their accounting is all set up so that the business owner has a full understanding of how their taxes work, how they will be taxed, and then having an understanding of how to do things the right way from the beginning in order to avoid any future problems. Given in the industry that I'm at, sadly, it's something that often gets neglected. The finances get neglected until tax season. And I oftentimes see that people are paying way too much in taxes just because they don't have a good bookkeeping process, because they don't know how to do any of the bookkeeping. And then they also don't know anything about taxes, so they're not sure what they could write off. They're not sure what tax entity they should be under. Oftentimes I see that that business owners will make the assumption of the type of tax entity that they should be under, which has some repercussions to it, or there's some things you should consider before switching over to tax entities like an S corporation. So yes, we do help with that, and that is something that I am definitely going to post more about in that startup phase and that startup process. So let me see my final question. So this one comes in from Mary. She says, I'm not sure if this question is fair game, but I'm wondering what the tax implications are of hiring therapists in other states when I'm in Pennsylvania and will be doing the billing from Pennsylvania. If everybody's an independent contractor, am I just paying them and they're worrying about their state and local taxes on their end? Do I need to do any sort of tax return myself for each of those states where I have satellite therapists? So this is a really multi-pronged question, so I'll address it little by little. So first of all, with the independent contractor, that means that they're independent and they're responsible. They are responsible for their own taxes. So that means that you are responsible to issue them a 1099. Whenever you hire contractors, I always recommend before you make that first payment, make sure that you receive a form W-9 in order to in order to have all their tax ID, their address, and where you could send that 1099. Oftentimes I see where people refuse to give their tax ID at the end of the year, or if not, they can't get a hold of that person, or whatever the case may be. You want to definitely avoid that. So make sure you are getting the 1099 or the W-9 so you can issue a 1099 at the end of the year. Now, the 1099 contractor is going to be responsible for all their taxes. So that's going to be on them. Your responsibility. If you pay them over $600 for the year, then you need to issue them a 1099. Now, even if they make less than that amount, they're responsible to report their income anyway, but you have that responsibility of issuing that 1099. So that's one. And it says, do I need to do any sort of tax return myself for each of those states where I have satellite therapists? So no, you would not need to do a tax return for the different states that you have satellite therapists in. So what you would need to do is track your own income and track your own expenses. And part of your expense is going to be the therapists that you hire as contractors. From there, you issue them their 1099, and they're responsible for paying their tax. Depending on your tax structure, you will pay taxes a certain way. If you're a sole proprietor, you will pay taxes. So this is if you're an LLC or PLLC that is structured as a sole proprietor. You will be paying self-employment taxes and income taxes on your net income. So that's your income minus your expenses. Whatever's left over at the bottom line, that's what you're going to be paying taxes on. Now, S corporations are a little bit more complex. I have another video posted on that if you want to get more details about it. But those are two different ways that you could get taxed, and that's how you would get taxed. You wouldn't get taxed, or you wouldn't have to file a report for each of the states that you are doing business in. Okay, so those are my questions for last week. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. I'm just kind of taking snippets of any questions that I get, and I will create a quick video to answer any of the questions. And so if you have anything that's pressing, if you're comfortable asking those questions, then I'll be happy to give you my advice. Now, if you are ready to make an appointment with me, feel free to schedule. I offer free strategy sessions where we go over and your whole situation and come up with a customized proposal for you. Depending on what you need, I will give you the services that I feel that you would benefit the most from. So feel free to schedule that call. It's not obligatory, or it's not an obligation to purchase anything or to work with me. I simply use that time to get to know you, make sure that we're a right fit, and from there you can make the decision if it's a good fit or not, and if it's something that you would want to move forward with. So yeah, I'm really excited to put together this group. So if you are not already watching this in my group, make sure that you watch, or that you join my group on Facebook. This will also be posted down in the link. Make sure that you're joining me and that you're asking questions. And yeah, it's a really great resource for other therapists and private practice owners that are in need of any accounting help, and just to get the knowledge that they need to make sure that they're running their business as efficiently as possible. All right, guys, again, my name is Jeanette Andrada, and I will talk to you next time.